get started, I need to make sure everyone's here. Oster, are you here?
You're
Okay.
talking to me. Sorry.
Cool. Jordan, are you here?
Yep.
And Malachi, are you here?
See.
Okay, and I heard, Eric, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I heard everybody else talking. All right, we are going to get started for tonight. Playing the thing. And let's start some music.
Play the thing, do the people. What?
UNF is always here.
Yeah, I heard you talking
Well,
about League and
you're
Ilderon
always here.
before we switched channels, so I assumed you were still here. But you know what they
Yeah,
say
I'm just-
about assuming? It makes you awesome. No, I'm kidding.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, there's another foul word that goes there.
Foul.
Welcome to welcome to D&D. This is it. Wizards of the Coast
It's
publishes
D&D.
this. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is the Gladiators, episode 4 of their campaign. We are playing D&D tonight. It is a role-playing game. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling, and it's gonna land in any direction. I just remembered I didn't read your guys' recap for the last session because I prepped for this a while ago. So there we go. I'll just open this and put
You
it on the
fail.
screen. I pretty much know what happened in your guys' last session, though.
Uh-huh.
All right, but yeah, everything is going to be live storytelling, and we're going to have a good time tonight. We're playing in a homebrewed campaign setting. It is the world of Ilderon. If you want to learn more about it, you can Google search Ilderon Tales or Ilderon, and I'm pretty sure we're all of the top searches now. So search optimization. There's a wiki and there's a website, and you can read all about the world.
We're told Domination.
Finally, if you're under the age of 14 and you're watching this, please consult your parents. Because just like earlier, there's probably content that's not appropriate for you. Let's jump into the recap for last session. I loosely remember everything that happened. So, I mean, I can give a general overview. Does anybody want to handle the recap from their character's perspective?
I tried to find a better hammer, ended up finding a shady wizard who wants diamonds.
We became gods.
Sometimes life is just like
Hans
that.
accidentally joined a.
Tambutu and Malise got very drunk.
I don't know what you mean.
He doesn't. He has brain damage. He doesn't know what you mean.
The best type of damage.
Eric, you were saying something?
Well, Oscar almost joined a mafia, so that's pretty cool.
I was getting to that.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much a good summary of everything that happened last session. The party pretty much they won their arena fight. They collected their payment. They celebrated inside of the port of Riofir, and then they decided where and what they wanted to do next. Their options were staying in Riofir and earning renown in this arena, or continuing to earn commendations from all of the other arenas. The decision was made to go and earn commendations from all of the arenas so they can continue walking the path of glory. And maybe when they get teleported or something like that, they'll come back here in the future. And yeah, boat fare was secured. Boat fare was secured, and we were going to pick up on the afternoon of the 22nd, I think, as you guys are leaving and heading towards the next arena along the path, and that is an arena in the port city of Soromangenn. So, let's jump over to here. So I already did the math for you guys of the travel to Soromangenn. And if you look, I've also kind of got like a little outline of this region of where and like where you guys are and where you guys will be going. So Rio Fear is right along this port, and you're going deeper into the Tide Gate, and the Path of Glory kind of goes like this and pings up and up and up there. So we're gonna pick up right from there. I told you guys I was going to do the stuff with the sea travel this session. So all of the math and everything. You know what? I'm so glad I've got that there because I definitely just forgot all of the numbers. All right, so a boat travels at 4 miles an hour per day, and it can travel for 24 hours a day. It covers 96 miles in 1 day, and it's 188 miles, which puts you guys at just under 2 days of travel. If the sea conditions are fair, you can go faster, and if they're unfavorable, you can not go faster. Slower, that's the word for not going faster. Does anybody want to roll a D100 for, or I think it's a D20 for weather conditions?
I will.
Okay. All right.
Gotcha. Beat you to it. Got
a
6.
6. Most of the time on weather dies, lower numbers are in your favor.
A passing bit, I would like to. What would be the good roll to do a spec for animals around? I want to kind of expose
what's on this
myself to
ship.
as many things.
I will give you more information about what's on this ship. I won't make you roll for it because pretty much anything would be in cargo cages. So I'll just allow you to explore.
I also mean outside of the ship too, kind of like
Oh,
looking out,
like
seeing
what
if I
you
see whales and things like that.
Yeah, that's going to be a perception check. Okay, so that was 1 d20 for the temperature. Give me another d20 for the wind and another d20 for the precipitation. So 2 more.
6 for wind and
Okay.
12 for precipitation.
All right,
Hey,
that's
Jeff.
pretty normal travel conditions. So yeah, it's going to take you guys. The captain is going to predict it's going to take about 2 days of travel as you step onto this boat. The name of the boat, I was actually going to name it, and this is just like a funny note for you guys. I was actually going to name it the Asadora, which would be like the Sun Queen, as like the name for the boat. But then that's accidentally the ship name of 2 characters in another campaign. Technically, and I was just like, I probably shouldn't do that. Ship
would
be
they
name
likely
of, like,
be here where we
relationship.
could actually catch a ride with those guys?
No, like like 2 characters relationshiped together.
Okay.
See,
But,
you had
was
me
an
hoping
actual
that
ship.
we'd get a guest appearance from Bodie McBoatface.
You guys can name the boat. What do you want it? Bodie McBoatface.
I'm not
Yeah.
naming the boat Bodie McBoatface.
Yeah.
But
Not
you
this
know
one.
about that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we all know about it. It's great.
Okay.
'Cause it actually did something.
I
I have
think
no idea what you guys mean.
I'm gonna go with Sunfeather for the boat name. All right, you guys are on the Sunfeather, and the captain of it is a man by the name of Cole Sidelos, and he would just go by Captain Sidelos. Otherwise, this is pretty much a standard cargo boat, and it's an elven captain sailing in and out of Rio Fear. He's got a long lime green and white dyed leather coat on, other people on this boat with you are just travelers who have book passage in between, the cargo. Traveling with Grimstone Heartringer, he would have rented out the officers' quarters, giving the party 5 beds to sleep on and, a nice room to themselves that they don't have to share with, the rest of the crew. And Grimstone would take a bed for himself.
Wait, so there's 4
Kids on a
beds
bed.
to split between 7 people?
Yes.
That's okay.
I mean, the
Sis
other
doesn't
option
use
is, sleeping in between crates and, tied hammocks.
I was gonna say Melise would probably go up to the crow's nest and sit and sleep in the crow's nest. So
Okay. So
Does the robot even need a bed?
that's robotist.
Jeez.
That's I want to say that's specious, but that's like phylum-ist.
Yeah, the thing is that, C's wouldn't know what to do. Well, he knows what to do with it, but he doesn't care to do it, so whatever. Doesn't matter. And actually, the whole crow's nest thing sounds like his idea of a good time.
All right,
Think
so
about he's up there in the crow's nest, sleeping together.
No, he would be standing.
Oh yeah, Steve would just be on alert.
Yeah. Well, he's just like on watch, and he doesn't sleep, so his like on watch state is standard, and he's used to it, and that's where he wants to be anyways. But the thing is that as far as like great views while resting, it's pretty hard to beat.
Okay. Okay, so
He
both
might
of
have to
you
lash
are-
himself to the mast, though.
yeah, both of you are
That's what I was
able
about
to go up to the crow's nest. It is a little bit cramped, as there is a woman up here with a spyglass. She'll introduce herself as Kaklu, and a half-elven woman. And once both of you get up here, she'll say, the captain didn't tell me we had new deckhands. I suppose it's going to be a little cramped with all of us up here, but if you want to take the job, I can teach you how to use the spyglass.
I don't know if I can rest and use the spyglass at the same time, but I would not want to cramp your workspace. Hey, Brandon, on the picture, it looks like there's actually 2 crow's nests.
Yeah, actually, I guess there would be. I had another image of like a battle map I was going to use for this tonight.
Hey, Brandon, why would
but
you need a battle
decided
map?
There's no reason.
Hush
Jordan.
up, you.
I decided ultimately against it because I don't need a battle map, Jordan. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. I'll go with that image and say yes. There are 2 crow's nests. She would probably be on the forward one, just with the spyglass. I don't know why you'd have a second crow's nest. Maybe if you're like running from ships or engaged in battle to like watch for them. And this vessel definitely wouldn't, be worried about that at these times. So,
Sniper
yeah, I don't know.
nests.
yeah, the second crow's nest, I would say that like other than like a unlit torch stunts, like it would be empty.
Oh, I know why you would have a second crow's nest. When you're doing navigational tasks, like if you're doing sextant shots or something like that, or sun, that sort of thing, or looking for certain stars, it's easier. Like if you can't, like on that ship, if you're standing on the aft deck, your view is not all that great because there's that extra little sail back there.
Ah, fair. Yep. I can definitely see that. So yeah.
So that could be like the navigator's nest or something like that, and C's would be happy to just kind of stand back there.
Okay.
Probably, like I said, lash himself to the mast just to make sure he doesn't fall off, because he would hate to have to walk the whole way.
Does Melise go with C's or stay up here with Kaklu?
I'm gonna stay with Kakulu.
Okay. Yeah, she's also willing to teach you how to use a spyglass for your time up here. And Brewbark is watching the ocean for any creatures. Does anyone else want to do anything?
Drink alcohol.
Drink alcohol. Let's see, what do they have on this ship?
Collect any
I
small
brought
loose
one
metal
bottle
bits.
myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would definitely have Riofir wine that they're taking to different ports, but it would be barreled.
I could tap that barrel.
I mean, you could buy a barrel for yourself, but you're not supposed to drink your own supply. Okay, C's is collecting loose metal bits, but yes, there would be wine on this ship, and there'd be a merchant. There'd be a merchant selling it, and I'd probably need to see how much wine is in a barrel. Does anyone else want to do anything? Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. Actually, we're gonna look up at the mast that C's walked up and ponder if that mast is sturdy enough to support his entire weight.
Oh, there's a whole nother sail up there.
It's fine. Warforged are only like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Only 400 pounds.
It's not like they're half a ton or something.
Right? No, it's perfectly safe. I don't know what I'm thinking.
We're all on the boat, and then C steps on, and we see it sink down a little bit further into the water, and then bounce back up.
I can just imagine the captain running out, going, "Be careful with that cargo!" Oh, sorry, you're not cargo.
Or coming out to say, we're riding a little low in the water. I'm gonna have to charge you extra for that passenger right there.
Okay, so 43 gallons is how much. 43 gallons is how much a barrel holds. So we can easily do that at 0.4 times 43. All right. The merchant is willing to part with one of these barrels of wine. It is not great Riofir wine. It's enough of the common stuff to ship out to the masses. He's willing to part with it for 17 gold.
I do have one bottle myself that
Okay.
I would have bought before taking off.
You're welcome to drink your own stuff. I was just, letting you know if you want
Okay.
some of the other stuff. You can buy from the merchants, or you can try and get the sailors to share with you. All right. And I think that's everything everybody's doing on the first day. So as far as Brewbark is not going to be able to find any interesting sea creatures on the first day. The second day, the captain will inform Brewbark that they go over deep ocean waters with more dangerous currents. The ship wasn't really made to do it, but they kind of cut corners to keep the trip a little shorter. And it shouldn't be too dangerous, but that's when Brewbark would potentially see something if he wants to, look for a second day. Otherwise,
could I maybe transform into a dolphin and swim around for a bit before coming back to the boat?
it was communicated to me that Brewbark lost his memories as he arrived to Riofir. So I would hesitate to say if he's seen or interacted with a dolphin enough to, be able to take its form.
That's valid.
Yeah, if you do encounter a dolphin, that is not, uncommon. Just like, hey, stop the boat for a second. I want to go talk to it. But otherwise, the first day is going to pass mostly uneventfully. Melise, for Melise, give me a intelligence check as Kaklu tries to teach Melise how to use the spyglass.
Wrong one. Sorry. I redo this.
Well, that's fine. An intelligence, save.
It worked out either way. So.
Yeah, it's the same exact roll for you, because barbarians aren't trained in intelligence. But yeah, you are going to pick this up really well, as she is, instructing you on like how to compare, what you're looking at in the distance to the sun, and just getting your eyes adjusted to looking through like a device like this, and not get Galileo syndrome of losing your vision. The first day though, otherwise that's everything that happens. Does anyone want to do anything for the second day before I roll any thing that might need to be determined for today?
Yeah. All the little metal bits that Caesar's collected, if he has just a small handful, he will find our patron at some point if he's walking around the deck and kind of stagger up, looking unsteady on his feet, and go, "Boss, I don't feel so good," and throw the metal bits on the ground or on the deck.
Trolling 100.
You know what? Go ahead and give me a performance check for that.
Okay. Oh, I didn't get my sheet out yet. Darn it. Hang on a sec. Sorry.
XP is going to take a note and take a wide stance around.
Yeah, like Grimstone's gonna like look at you like side to side and say, I fought a couple of your kind. I didn't think they was gonna poke your stomach and say, I didn't think they had internal bits to chop up like that.
No. And we tend to put up a fight about that too. But he didn't laugh. I'll keep working on that one. He gathers up his metal bits.
He's like, as you walk away, he's gonna shake his head and say, I'm the only normal one here.
XP believes your performance, just an FYI. She thought you really did just vomit pieces. It was like,
Brewbart, or rather, Eric, did you want to have Brewbart spend the second day still watching?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can go ahead and give me another perception check. And otherwise, I'm going to assume everybody carries on.
Is there any female goblins on ship?
Are there any female goblins on ship? They say goblins really aren't a seafaring race. Especially down in the Tide Gate. I'm going to say on 85% or higher, yes. You know what? One of these sailors have heard about a female goblin sailing through the Tide Gate, but definitely not on this ship.
Okay.
All right. So... Zeeth, or Wesley, what is Zeeth doing this whole time?
Enjoying the view.
Okay.
Damn
bright sun. Damn ocean.
He's So is this a frigate? Is this a man of war? What kind of? How many tiers are there to this vessel?
There's 3, and I think I did it as a galley.
A galleon. Okay. So he's going to be. He's going. 1 second. He's going to be below in the. I guess in the bottommost hold, where it's dark. And if he has room, he's going.
Actually, change that. It's a long ship.
Okay. Anyway, he's going to be in the bottommost hold. Well, I don't think a long ship has one.
Well,
actually.
this one would. It would be like some sort of a cargo ship, but
anyway,
I just used the long ship statistics off of the DMG as far as the math and everything goes and the crew size.
All right. Well, he's going to be in the bottommost hold, and he's going to be doing drills with his sword cane.
Okay.
And probably riding. Yeah, and he's going to be writing about his experiences, but mostly just staying out of that intense sunlight. And I'm guessing the rocking of the boat would be less intense at the bottom at the bottom.
All right.
I do want to do one more thing.
Go ahead.
I want to try to learn how to do knots, like good knots that it'll be hard for other people to undo.
Okay. From any of the sailors, you can work behind them on day 2, and for anything they teach you, I'm gonna say it's an intelligence check to try and remember it. I was gonna ask for it at the end of the day, but that will do for now. All right.
Evidently, it wasn't important enough.
Yeah, they hand you a rope and it's like, tie it like this, and you start tying it, and then it just slips loose, and you go flying into the sky.
Actually, we spent most of our day just staring off into the distance on deck.
All right. As for Brewbark, as you guys go over the deep sea, you are definitely going to see figures of things inside of the water. As to
I'm gonna flag down the captain and see if I can jump down there and say hi to them. Hopefully, and not die.
Okay, let me just think about... So, if you don't have a swim speed, you swim at half your movement speed, which is 15 feet per round. Alexa, what's 15 times 10?
150.
Oh, gosh, that's right. Okay, so 150... Alexa, what's 150 times 60?
150 times 60 is 9,000.
9,000. Okay. So 9,000 divided by 5,200. All right. So this boat is moving at about 4 miles an hour, and you are going to be able to swim at about 1.7 miles an hour.
Hence me flagging down the captain and seeing if we can slow down a little.
All right, yeah. Talking to the captain, he's gonna be like a little hesitant of just like, look, I'm not one to keep the people of Soromangenn waiting. Twilight Port isn't a very nice place. Give me a persuasion check. He's gonna say, if you can pay the difference of what these merchants would be paying on a delayed shipment, I'll slow down. But otherwise, we're going to hit Soromangenn by nightfall.
What's that difference?
He's gonna say, I can't say that exactly, but enough that the gold would more than compensate for their complaints. And you know what? He'll think about it for a second and say, maybe 25 or 30 could convince me.
I'm willing to part with 15 if you're willing to spend it. Let me have 15 minutes.
15 for 15 minutes. He's going to call ahead and say, bring up the sails for a moment. I want to stop and just double check our course. A couple of the sailors are just going to call back and say, "Hi, Captain." He's going to look at you.
I can't miss. Yeah, third.
Now, the ship does not stop, but it stops getting pushed through the waters by the wind.
My brain is thinking that if I can familiarize myself with the deep sea creature or underwater creature that could wild shape and catch up.
Okay. I'm going to say it's definitely going to go to half of its pace, and you can catch it with a dash action in the water if things get super hairy. But otherwise, the ship, after a few moments, stops getting momentum.
Good enough for me.
All right. Looking at what these things are in the ocean that are swimming about. If Brewbark's just like walking over to the edge and getting ready to jump off, I would say anybody on the upper decks of the ship are definitely going to notice him doing this.
Can I look down in the water and see what's in there?
Yeah, you are going to see figures. You're going to see. Well, actually, give me a perception check first, and then I'll tell you what you see.
I want to go up to him while this is all happening, ask him what the hell he's doing.
I think that was pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Tobutu is able to walk up and talk to Brewbark as he's about to jump in. I will
allow you guys too short to not explore.
Well, you better do it fast. There's only so much alcohol I can drink here.
Sips away at my alcohol.
Okay. XV, looking into the water, you're going to see these figures swimming about ever so occasionally. However, it like you don't really make out what it is. Doesn't look like a fish. like not. It doesn't look like any type of fish that you've seen. Anything more would require a nature check to kind of identify what it is, but it's much longer than a fish. Only almost serpentine-like in fashion.
Okay. Can I tell how big it is? Like whether it's huge or large or medium?
Yes. Yes, you can. It is between large and medium from what you can see of its form. It's a pretty big old fish type thing. Or it's a pretty big sea creature.
By the way,
and slightly terrified.
By the way, that 1d10 was how well I know how to swim.
All right, Brewbark. Does Brewbark jump in to the ocean?
Yes, I am going to hope I don't die.
All right.
I start getting rope ready just in case.
Brewbark.
I don't know if I should trust your rope.
When has it ever gone wrong before?
True fact. It has yet to go wrong.
There hasn't been a before.
and guys, guess what? I started tying it myself. To the deck and to myself.
I just don't see how any of this can go wrong.
Seas gets ready to haul it in rapidly if necessary.
Brewbark, jumping into the water. It is a murky. It is a murky blue blur. Looking down into the depths, it sinks almost into infinite blackness. As you jump in and you just it's almost eerily quiet under the waves.
I would like to try and get a closer look at whatever creature this is. Do I get a better view underwater where the waves aren't crashing?
I don't know how it would feel to open your eyes in salt water.
It tingles, but
not
it's doable.
But you can do it.
Yeah, and I would say just as you're looking for whatever it was like swimming by the boat, it might have been a school of these things, but in the distance you're going to see several of them swimming off, almost like a large eel.
I'm going to try and follow a little bit, and with being a druid, am I able to like shout and fish?
Okay. As you
hey guys, wait up.
As you go and start swimming after these. They're going to be swimming away almost panically, or almost with panic, presumably from you. However, you're not really certain.
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's anything else around me? Say something scarier that they are running from?
Yeah, and I won't. You can roll that perception check, but I'll say, like, as you slow down and stop and look, just turning around behind you, there is a larger form. It's that same dark color, and it's it is definitely a larger form of like one of these eel creatures. Whatever it is, it looks like it's coming straight towards you.
I would like to try and charm it or / animal handle this big guy that's coming towards me.
Okay. I will say, as it's coming towards you, you can roll me a handle animal check. Or if you have the spell Animal Friendship, you can try and cast it when it gets in range. And I will allow that as a readied action. Otherwise, you're going to have to give me some initiative. Okay, hold on 1 second. So as you try to calm this thing, what do you do?
Sorry, I just realized I do have Animal Friendship. I'm going to be non-threatening and say that, and with Speak with Animals, which is also a spell that I have, say that I am impressed by its longevity and its amazing power, and basically try and sweet talk it.
Okay. So as this sea serpent of sorts comes up to you, it is swimming viciously. Its maw starts to open, and just you just feel like that sinking of water as it's wading through, just like the currents pulling towards it a little bit, and your reaction's going to go off, and you're going to cast Animal Friendship on it, and it is going to stop and circle around you several times. It's about 12 feet long, and it's just like looking at this thing, it's probably about 2.5 to probably about 2.5 feet wide. Let's see, it must be able to see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or be charmed by you for its duration. All right, it rolls against your spell saving DC. What is your spell save?
Call me ignorant, but where would I check that?
It's going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus, which should be 2 at this level, plus your wisdom modifier.
If you go to your spells, it'll be at the top.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it can't beat your. 13. Okay, I'm pretty sure it can't beat your save with what it rolled. So let's see.
Can we see this happening, Brandon?
Yes, I'm about to describe what everybody sees. Okay, so 13. So, as you guys are on the boat is still steadily drifting away from Brewbark. He has stopped in the water, and what has looked like undulations in these waves of, like the murky depths, has stopped, and you see one of these creatures just like larger, and it is a large creature, but by the standards of what some people say roams the depths of the inner sea. It's not that big. It has stopped and is in front of Timbuktu. Brewbark, as he is under the waves. Brewbark, you don't have very long as far as like how long you can hold your breath, but it has stopped and it is charmed by you. It is going to start swimming around you, almost wardingly. So you're able to kind of glean from its like figure eight actions. This is some sort of like patriarchal or territorial display.
Well,
not territorial, but like just threatening display.
I'm going to surface for air, and am I able to figure out potentially a mating similar motion? Maybe try and seduce that large animal.
Is this where we're at? This is where we're at in life.
I feel like every meme about DMs like, please stop trying to seduce the fish.
As far as like trying to seduce it, I will say you can roll me another animal handling check. And I mean, it is a thing. People get humped by dolphins. Unfortunately, much more...
Not only humped, but...
Yeah, much more common than it should happen. And this thing is going to realize, like, you know, you are not, you're not one of, like, its adversaries or anything, you know, it would be...
I'm not a threat.
Yeah, like fighting off. However, it also doesn't recognize you as a mate. It seems more so that it was warding off those other smaller ones that were swimming and following the ship. I think
how far away is
after
the ship pulled by now?
It's been a couple rounds. It's a good little distance away, and I think after it realizes Brewbark's not a threat, it's going to start swimming back towards and following the ship. Anybody who's watching this is going to see it kind of disappears into, you know, the waves. It's hard to make out what's an undulation of the water and what's like this creature's body.
With Speak with Animals, can I kind of shout after it saying, I want to know you?
Speak with Animals on this creature. It's going to... God, what would this thing even... How would it even communicate? I will
Echolocation.
Yeah, I will tell you one of my most hated spells is Speak with Animals because of... Alright,
There's many telepathic.
As you communicate with this serpent, it's going to say, can't speak hunting big fish babies.
Can I come? Will you let me ride along?
It is going to nod and say, "You are big fish baby, but you are not worth. You are not worth hunting.
Get right.
You can come,
Is hurt a little
but
bit.
no save big fish babies."
I
Well, Brandon, I have a surprise for you, sir.
All right. It is going to permit you to grab onto it, and it can actually keep up with the speed of the boat. Everybody, though, on the boat is going to, like, the captain's going to just, like, come along, walk over, just, like, looking where the party's, like, looking over the edge and say, well, if he's dead, it's time to drop down the sails and catch the wind again.
Not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm above water, right? I'm kind of riding him on with my head.
No, it's riding underneath the waves, occasionally going to the other side of the ship.
I communicate that this fish baby needs air, and that can you please surf?
Big fish baby need air? What? Air is air?
Big fish baby needs top water.
That's going to nod and say, top water dangerous. And it is going
Just
to
a little.
take you up there. It's gonna say birds and sea wings, very, very bad for hunter. The party is going to see this serpentine creature, like just one of its spines, come out of the water, Brubart on it before, it gets back underneath the waves. Brubart, you are going to see that the ship has dropped down its sails. They are catching the wind, and the ship's building up momentum again.
I kind of holler out, "Hi guys!"
Rubark's dead.
Hi, we're moving
Rubark is
fast.
dead.
You might want to come back soon.
So, Brandon, how long do I have to hang out with this serpentine before I can
into it? I would say the duration of this.
I've already communicated with it. I know.
No,
what it's
I would say
doing.
the duration of like this 15 minutes of just like clinging to it on its back, like you're gonna get enough of a feel for it that you would be able to replicate its form.
All right, bring it on, bitches! Like, I'm gonna transform. And,
I don't have huge amounts of plans of underwater
immediately
combat for you guys, but
I'm gonna immediately holler out to the serpentine that I just was with. Oh, what type of creature is it?
For its statistics, use the constrictor snake from the player's handbook, except give it 15 more feet of swim speed and half its walking speed.
So to this kind of like constrictor snake, I'm going to announce myself to it that do not be alarmed. I'm still the same friend. And transform.
All right. Yeah, you become a constrictor serpent and sea serpent in the water. You gain a bite attack. This thing is still technically charmed by you, but it does not like this. It's going to stop following the ship and start that figure 8 motion again of just like, my big fish babies.
Immediately swimming as fast as I can back to the ship and get back on as quickly as I can. Grab it, like,
I throw the rope down to him.
I thought we had him tied to the ship still.
No, he didn't.
No, I was overtied.
Oh, okay.
I tied myself to the ship just in case.
All right.
Oh, right.
You throw the rope down. He starts. Brubart on transforms and starts climbing up.
No, he tries. He tries to climb the rope.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's why C's is there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Sorry
C's
about
like.
you, I don't.
C's
Yeah, as
would
soon as he
have it.
grabs hold of the rope, he hauls him in.
All right. Brewbark is able to climb back above board. And there was one other thing I needed to do. Oh yeah, Zeeth. You, as you are training in the hull of this ship, you're going to hear more rumors about Soromangenn. Particularly that Nosram has had less of a presence in the port, and it has gone to. We'll just say they don't use they use a sailorly word. Since then.
Oh, so you're saying Soromangenn has changed management?
Maybe, or more so, power vacuum.
Okay. I have to wonder if he would understand what that means. Don't think he knows much about politics.
Yeah.
If it's just some guys drinking over, he's gonna walk over and is like, mind if I have a seat?
Yeah, and it's a couple merchants and a couple of the crew sitting down around a crate, and yeah, they'll gesture for you to join.
All right, he'll tap a seat. So hey, thank you. You're all looking great, by the way. Yeah.
They'll laugh.
Yeah, it's a bad joke. I got you.
And it's worth noting that all of these people, they live in the Tide Gate. The Tide Gate's on the equator of the world. And they are all wonderfully rich in complexions. And, sitting next to them, your skin is like as dark as the midnight sky. And one of them's just gonna look over and say, oh, "Where are you from, friend? Don't think I've ever seen anyone like you."
Oh, I'm from the other side of the world. Just didn't get a lot of sun growing up, and well, you see that he's gonna assume he's talking about the skin color. Well, you see this here skin used to be white, like pearly white. Then it's a curse. Turned it. It's like ink. Took my eyesight too.
I don't know if I should make you roll a deception or a performance. I'm gonna say, give me one. You choose.
I'll go with a performance. Unless I had advantage on it, maybe?
I would say you did not have advantage. If there's a way you can grant yourself advantage, you can. But
why the hell not? I've got like 2 of them. Yeah,
all
so
right.
Yeah, I'll
roll it one more
burn
time.
One of those.
And one of the merchants is going to say, "A curse! Oh, that's so awful."
What?
I hear there's a temple though in Soromangenn. I don't spend much time. It's actually one of my few ventures out of Riofir.
Temple, huh?
He's gonna nod and say, probably one of the few safe places left there.
Interesting. Well, I apologize for eavesdropping. He kind of wiggles his pointed ears a little bit. He said, but I heard something going on in Soromangenn. That's where we're going, right, Brandon?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've never been there before. and I know these places can get a little rough. So do a tourist a favor, and So what does that? What would that mean for new people walking around that fine city?
He's gonna say, well, there's so many different nations and factions inside the Tide Gate. Generally, things out here near the center of the inner sea, they're always free, and Nazram secures the ports. But he's gonna look side to side, lean in and say, I hear the Ruby Shadow has their eyes on Soromangenn. It's an organization of criminals, cutthroats.
You don't say.
He nods and says, well, if they push out the old guard, I think we'll all be paying new taxes on our shipment to the Ruby Alliance to use the port.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. But changes hands often to Soromangenn, does it?
He's going to shake his head and say, no, it's on the outer reaches of the Tide Gate. Things in the inside. You might wake up and find yourself part of the new Red Axe Alliance. Or welcoming a Lonagian Sunyeth Order as your current mayor.
Yeah, that's a lot of big words you threw at a poor beggar, but I don't suppose that's gonna affect the Walk of Glory or anything, is it?
He's gonna smile and say, "Oh, your aspirants."
Something like that, yeah.
He's going to nod and say, No. The Fey Felon Circle, they placed all of their arenas in places that have survived the test of time.
Well, about that, you told me a story. Now let me share a little one with you. He's gonna kind of lean in. You know that armored guy, the guy that what the hell's his name, Brandon?
Seas?
No, not the.
Oh, Grimstone.
Grimstone. Yeah. You know that Heartbringer guy. I hear he likes throttling people in their sleep. Like in the middle of the night.
He's going to shiver and say, only seems right he's going to the Twilight Port.
Well, that's the here tell. I'll tell you that what I know for sure. See, what he told us is if we lose that arena, he said he paid for the right to strangle us to death himself if we lose.
The merchant's again going to shiver and say, well, I suppose the captain is the authority out here on this ship. You could go to the captain and try and get free of this.
Well, here's the way I see it. I figure he paid for the chance, right? He didn't say nothing about us having to sit there and take it. So I figure as soon as we get enough money, hopefully we'll be rid of him. But I think I would just say sleep with the doors locked.
He's going to nod and say, let me do you a favor. I have a contact. I have a contact inside of Soromangenn. go see her when you get in. She lives in a neighborhood in town called the Songs. She might be able to help you get your feet on the ground. And maybe shrugs and says, she watches aspirants come in and out of the arena all year round. Perhaps she might be willing to sponsor you instead.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. By what name would I know her by?
He is going to think and say, Tiden.
Tita?
Tiden.
Tiden. How would you spell that?
Tedinn.
Tedinn. Okay. Adding that to my inventory, apparently. He's gonna reach in his pocket. How many people are at the table?
Let's roll 2d4. 3.
3. Okay. He's gonna reach in his pocket and put 3 coins in front of. Well, he's gonna pull 3 coins, put a gold coin in front of each of them. It's like, I'm obliged to you. Also, he puts his finger in front of his lips. Let's keep this between us. We don't want to rile the Heartbringer, do we?
He's going to nod. The other people putting the gold coin in their pocket and say, "You're the Heartbringer."
He's going to get up and head out and say, "Make sure to lock your doors." He's going to head back into the hole.
All right. Nightfall. The port is going to be in the distance. The light from the different buildings shining along the waters and waves towards the boat. The Angel Feather. Is that what we called it? No, the Sun Feather. All right. And the last thing I needed to do, Regus, give me one more intelligence save for finishing up and learning how to use a spyglass.
That was Malise, not Regus.
Oh, I'm sorry, Malise. All barbarians look the same. I'm kidding. Yes, one more intelligence check. All right, you are going to successfully pick up this skill, and you can just add it onto your sheet if you want, or take a note of it. If you make a perception check with a spyglass in an open area, I will give you advantage on it. Malise is just going to pick up all of these tips and from her and be able to commit, most of them to memory. Otherwise, you guys are all going to arrive inside of the port, and let me move us over to Soromangenn.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
I got 2 more things for C's while he's on the boat.
Uh-huh.
I put them in the chat, but just also learn to tie knots from the sailors.
Okay.
And then he had started on a weapon mount, and just he should have time to finish it, I imagine, as long as the motion of the ship is not a problem.
I would say for trailing behind the sailors, give me the same thing. It's like an intelligence check to try and pick up something from them.
Okay.
And
that's a save. Sorry.
Well,
that's a save modifier.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. And like C's is going to get this information. It's not gonna be something he wholly picks up immediately, but it is something in the future you can work on. Or just like, how did the sailor do that knot? Of like, you remember the knots, but you don't exactly pick up on like how they work or their function and stuff.
Okay. So you'll have to practice.
Yeah. Otherwise, everybody is going to be able to get into Soromangenn. As you pull in, there is a giant manor-side or cliffside fortress that seems to be a large estate overlooking the rest of the port. Lights are on different rooms are lit. You see fires and magical lights cascading off of the cliffs down into the water. The rest of the city is divided between two bending ports, with portions of the ridge side of the town being fortified with stone walls. The port you guys pull into is actually the northern one, the Twilight Port, and this larger vessel actually doesn't pull immediately into the port, but rather loads up several dinghies and rowboats heading in, carrying a different cargo or other things. And the different people on this boat, as there would have probably been, I think the crew was 40 people, and then the passengers were also 40. Anyways, all of you are able at various moments to, get into a rowboat and head into the port. Passengers.
Did my servant's friend follow?
The passengers were 150. I'll rule that half of the ship was filled, so 75. Yeah. What's up?
Did my servant's friends come any further with us, or did
No? After you guys left the deep ocean, it stopped following the ship.
Good thing nobody else fell overboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have been happy to eat someone. Fish babies are the easiest prey.
Big fish babies.
They don't know what they do. They flounder around in the water. They don't have their full developed fins yet. All right. Yeah, you guys are going to come into the Twilight Port. Rising above the Twilight Port, you guys are going to see the area labeled the East Quarter. It looks like a wooden and stone gladiatorial large arena kind of just rising over the rest of the town. You see the flags of different guilds and the banners of different guilds all lining a circle around it, waving in, the night wind. And atop, all of them is the Fey Felon Circle's banner. Otherwise, what do you guys want to do? You're all unloaded on the docks, and it's just like session 1.
It's after night though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's currently night. Nighttime as you guys have arrived.
Well, since Regis is finally back on dry lands, he's no longer crouching in a corner. Yeah, he was getting a bit motion sick.
Mm-hmm.
Regis is gonna make his way to probably the nearest inn he can locate.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to go try to find a place to.
Okay, to sleep for the night.
Yeah.
You probably should find a place to rest. Yes.
All right. Grimstone is going to be following all of you, and he's going to say, "Oh, Soromangenn, gods, I hate this place."
Why is that?
And he's going to say, "Well, everybody comes to Rio Fair to trade, and the elves, the Dorai, keep the port so safe. But just outside of the greatest trading port, outside of the safety of the Vigilant Watch, where do you think the rest of the world comes by? It's the doorstep, the entry gate. The
Sounds like a
riffraff doesn't
perfect
make
place
it
for someone
past
who
here.
likes to strangle people when they don't win.
Grimstone is going to shake his head and say, "Well, that's just blatantly false. All of my deaths before now that I've given have been swift. It is only now in my old age that I wish to understand the savor of it."
Why don't you try it out yourself then?
He puts his hand on his neck and say, and he's gonna say, "You might think me some vandal, but I can assure you the trade of a mercenary is one that's honorable. And
I am familiar
just
with
as
the
much
mercenaries trade, and if you want to understand strangulation, I can give you a brief strangle so that you just pass out. You do not have to die.
He's
The experience will leave you wiser.
You know what? This is a weird check. I don't think I've had to do this as much in a session. I don't know if I've ever had to do this in a session. Is he turned on by this? Grimstone is
It's a big oof, pal.
yeah, Grimstone's going to think for a moment and say, no,
Brimstone's a sick puppy. That's all I gotta say about that.
It's nothing. It's nothing I can ask of you. One doesn't question the baker who bakes every day. But once he begins gorging himself on his meals, it becomes just a little bit more interesting. Huh?
I think you misunderstand. For in this case, I am the baker and I offer you a sample that you do not have to keep. You do not have to purchase. Because you know the price of that purchase is your life.
Mm-hmm. Grimstone is going to nod and say, "I want to become more familiar with the intimate affliction of such a thing, not the experience of being afflicted."
So you're a coward.
No, I think he's a sadist, not a masochist.
It sounds like he's a coward to me. You inflict on others what you don't have the guts to try out yourself.
He's going to nod and say, "I suppose you could say I am afraid. But nevertheless, let's find lodging and how about somebody roll me a D8 or a D7? Yeah, roll me a D8. Whoever would like to. Tombutu! Alright.
One.
So,
I'm getting the low numbers.
Those low number rolls, like, ugh.
So, as like Grimstone is as Grimstone is speaking, wait, that's not a 1. Reroll that, but type /R space 1d8 with no space between the D and the 8. That will, yeah, that's a real one because it's you see the redness there. That's the difference. But yeah, he's going to say, "Let's go before," and like as Timbuktu is walking, and you know the whole party's like walking from the port, getting onto the stone street. Somebody is just going to trip straight over Timbuktu, and this man is just going to clumsily like fall down to his knees. Several glasses going from his coat and hands, splattering onto the street. Those of you with passive perceptions over 13, I have everybody's passive perception noted. Zeeth and Brewbark, you are going to note that the stone, as it is sizzling, is slowly being eroded. Not very, not like wildly, but like small holes and like little things are forming in it, as whatever this was he was carrying was probably acidic. This man is going to look over at Timbuktu and say, "Hey, watch it! Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
You gone the way.
My mixtures! Oh, this is gonna cost you."
You bumped into me.
And he's gonna say, "Yeah, but you chose to be so short."
I'm gonna really have a problem here.
He's going to
Use the combat music.
He's gonna pull something out of his shirt, and it is a necklace on a gold chain, and it gleams in the night, or rather in the lantern light. It is a red ruby, and he's gonna say, "I don't know, are we?"
I suspect you are but a thief bumping into people who look like an easy mark.
He's
Trying
gonna
to
say,
extort money for some nefarious purpose.
he's gonna say, "No,
whatever glasses you hold.
I'm not a thief. I'm an assassin, and I was hired to kill. I'm."
Grab him by the,
Right,
scruff of his
burst
coat
out
or whatever he's
laughing.
wearing and pick him up off his feet.
He's gonna say, "Look, I was on a job, and that wasn't for you. That was for somebody else. It was a lovely drink, but now what am I gonna
screwed
do?"
Up. Find another way. Use the old-fashioned manner, dagger, perhaps. But you're the fool that ran into us. It is not our fault.
Hey, he just admitted he's an assassin and he was going to kill somebody. Why don't we turn him in?
Bounty
To
Usher
whom?
is quite good on this one. Is there a guard in this town?
This town is rather lawless. Who's going to want him?
How about the one he was going to assassinate? I'm sure they would pay a nice price for his head.
He's going to say, if you put me in jail, then you might as well give the next mark to you might as well give the next mark to Mela. God, she's so ruthless. It's gonna be gruesome.
Or maybe you just screwed up in your job and got yourself killed.
He's going to laugh and say, "Killed? No."
I punch him in the gut.
Well, wait. Can you reach? Roll me an attack roll.
You're short.
Unarmed.
Caesar's not holding him very high, if that helps.
Yeah, you can just like jump up and it's like the ruby shadows. Oh!
He's just jumping spiked him. By the way, I think you owe our friend an apology.
He's going to look down at Timbuktu and say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry that poison didn't land on your head.
I give him another strike.
Regis walks up and aligns his hammer with the guy's nuts.
Grimstone is going to step forward and say, all right, that's enough. If he's working for the Shadow, well, it's not people we want to be on the wrong side of.
Maybe we should be. Maybe they're people that we have to stop.
Or maybe if this guy just hadn't been an ass about it.
I will let all of those comments fly, but I'll also give everybody a free history check on the Ruby Shadow. If you know as a player what the Ruby Shadow is, you can keep that information.
Yeah, I know what the Ruby Shadow is.
This is great. This is great.
Oh man.
Hang on a sec. I'm trying to remember if the Ruby Shadow was in my character's background or not. I kind of think it is, though.
With Marfia? Yeah, I think she was extorted by somebody. Hold on, I've got your backstory.
Ruby Alliance. She's with the movie Ruby Alliance.
Yeah, so you
But
definitely recognize the necklace this guy's wearing.
Okay.
Yeah, but the equating it like with the shadow of just like, wait a second, it's the Ruby Alliance you're talking about, and they're just a bunch of merchants.
Yeah, I know what the Ruby Shadow is.
Melise, you are going to know there is the Ruby Alliance, which is an international trade organization. But controlling the Ruby Alliance is going to be a subset of super hyper rich merchant lords named the Ruby Shadow. Nobody knows who they are or who's currently occupying the seats, but they generally also handle and disseminate crime out through various portions of the world, ordering assassinations, stealing. Like something that's very common for the Ruby Shadow is to hire like a band of bandits to steal like all of a product in a region to drive up like the price on that product, or poison.
So
like,
think Kingpin from Spider-Man.
Yeah, like poisoning a field to make people have to buy food in that region and then selling them food or things like that. Like that's very commonplace for them.
So these people are like the evilest of evils.
Yes.
They're capitalist scum.
Yeah,
How about that?
in some sense of the word evil.
I was gonna say big business.
Yeah, they wouldn't consider themselves evil because no one's really hurt other than people's pocketbooks. Well, and the people that die. Yeah, evil. We'll go with that.
And the people that died. Let's make
I was about to say,
that
that's not a big stretch there.
It's hard for me to, like, when you get, because I think in terms of the characters, I'm presenting to you guys, and no character ever really thinks, like, yeah, I'm evil.
And
like,
the people.
they would be like, I'm not evil. Like, they needed food and I sold them food. But they needed food because you poisoned their fields. Well, then they shouldn't have left their fields unguarded. Like...
Or maybe you should have had the morals to not poison their field.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess they would, be rationalized as pretty evil.
Well, I think in the D&D universe, things tend to be very, like, cut and dried in that department. In most cases, Ilderon might be a little different, but usually there's some kind of, detect evil spell.
Yeah. But
and
anyways,
you're freaking evil or you're not.
Anyways, what Grimstone is getting at that Melise would be able to put together, and everybody who has the information, is this guy works for probably somebody with vast amounts of resources and vast amount of reach. He might be stupid and an idiot, but the people, employing him,
The people behind him would kill us in a heartbeat.
I don't know. He might just be some low level. Apparently, I hope they didn't pay a lot for him.
Does he say that out loud?
Yeah, why not?
He's going to say, they didn't pay me yet. It's a bounty. First person who can get the hit gets the money.
Oh, so you don't work for them. You just want to work for them.
He has the pendant. That usually means he's something with
He
them
can't.
associated.
He can't even walk straight.
I've contracted for them before. I've had 3 successful kills. Thank you very much.
Ooh, very impressed. Not.
But you said this is a bounty.
He's gonna point to like the stone where the solution has completely evaporated, but in its place has like left this really eroded, spiky area of not all of it eroded. Like a hole. It took out portions, and it kind of looks like a bunch of really tiny anthills. And he's gonna say, "You know what that would have did to somebody's face?"
Oh,
They'd be
terrible
dead.
things, I'm sure. But alchemist skills do not make a great assassin.
Being able to walk straight does.
That is occasionally a good start.
Is he holding out like that pendant?
It's on his neck.
And is he grappled at the moment?
I mean, he's not grappled as far as like restrained, but I mean, C's has his hand on his collar, and he's not like stepping down from you guys.
Okay, I want to yank that pendant off his neck.
That he's not gonna allow. That you're gonna have to roll me a sleight of hand check, and I'll actually say that'll be. Yeah, I'll say that'll be contested. As you go to grab it, he's gonna swat your hand away, like ah.
What's a sleight of hand? Oh, that sleight of hand is a thing. Okay.
You have to maneuver your hand around his swatting hand.
Can I inspire my?
As I say 1,000 times to bards, you are not Kanye West yet. You cannot give yourself inspiration. There's a
Actually, I'm passing the sword. I can.
Okay, yeah. As I say, there are certain builds and certain levels where you can, but not every bard is able to. But yeah, go ahead, give yourself inspiration. What's up, Oz?
Would it make it easier for him if I use the maul to smack the guy in the nuts?
That would be another attack against his AC. That would not make it easier to take the.
This is going very poor very quickly.
Well, this is what he gets for being a dumbass.
I think that'd be kind of against, because you don't know he was going to do it.
Sorry, I'm looking stuff up because I'm not used to playing bards. It's a D6 for this level, isn't it?
Yes.
Where's D? Okay. Well, let's see how it do. Come on, you can do it. And I'm gonna roll a D6. Hey, 17.
You are going to. You didn't beat him before with the 11, but the 17 does. And he's going to like swat your hand away, and lean back, and you come forward with your other hand and snatch the amulet, breaking the chain. And he's going to say, "Hey, that's mine."
Now I work for the Ruby Shadow.
He's
Good evening, sir.
He's going to say, "What's your name?" They probably don't even have you on their registrars.
My first name is Nunya.
You know what? I'll roll him an intelligence check, and he's going to say, "What circle are you with, Nunya?"
It's a circle of business.
And he's going to say, "We're all in a business. It's a trade alliance."
Well, this is none of yours. Good evening.
All right, Mr.
I say good day.
I said good day, sir.
He's gonna be eyeballing you as you guys walk by. I'm assuming everybody's leaving him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruby pendant.
He's going to just kind of fall to his knees where the acid was burning through the stone and say, "Damn you, Mr. Business!"
That's Slug business.
Curse you!
Curse you, Nanya!
All right.
That was so lame.
That was. What are you talking about? That was hilarious.
It felt horrible.
As you guys walk towards like the nearest tavern in the Twilight Port, it's going to be one called the Charming Rogue, and it is a really clean, very large place. I actually assumed you guys would go to the closest one, so I have blueprints of this place, and if you scroll down, that image I have is of the Charming Rogue, and I can pull up a room by room thing of it that I'll post later in your guys' Discord.
I don't like it, Brandon. I want to go to the furthest one.
Well, you'll get a procedurally generated in then, in that case.
I'm kidding.
All right. Stepping in here, the first floor is a common room, and I placed some people here. It is pretty crowded down here for tonight, and most of the people look just like the guy at the port that you ran into. Just elves and half-elves dotted everywhere in here, talking back and forth amongst each other. Everybody hunched over and leaned in.
So they all look like fancy idiots?
Mm-hmm. They all look like shady, of like shady half-elves and elves.
Well, no, you said they all looked like the guy we ran into at the dock, and if he was...
He didn't look like an idiot, he was an idiot.
I want to try and seduce one at our hotel, at our inn.
It's worth noting the guy at the docks, pretty sure he was super gorgeous. Was super duper gorgeous, yes.
What? You didn't mention that?
It was a lot happening.
Try seducing him.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God.
All right.
And this is how Yolmar starts coming out.
Mm-hmm. And let's go with... All right. You guys are able to step into the Charming Rogue. And I'm assuming you're going to want to get a room. You know what? You guys are with your sugar daddy. Grimstone Grimstone will say...
Toke me, Daddy. Toke me.
I'll handle the room for us. A lot of people come and meet at these establishments, but not a lot tend to stay. They'll probably have plenty of open ones.
Actually, nods in agreement.
You guys are going to see Grimstone walk up to the bar. He starts talking with a tall person of elven descent.
How late in the afternoon is this? I know it's evening, but like, are we talking about midnight or like 6 o'clock?
I'd say you guys probably got here at the start of like the nightlife of like 9:30, so it's probably like 10 o'clock now after your fiasco at the port.
It's our Betty by time.
Yep.
It's
XP's
the
gonna follow.
Twilight Port. Does it ever sleep?
XP's gonna
only when you knock it
follow up to the counter as well.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything? Otherwise, I'll just handle XP.
I don't sleep under the stairs this time.
I'll stay in the common room for a little while and try and kind of feel out who's there. Can you tell me kind of what people look like?
Okay. Yeah. In this commons, the tables go around the edge of the room. There is a kitchen very near the door, immediately to your left, and just dividing like the kitchen from the common area is, where the bar is at, and Grimstone is talking to the tavern keep. As far as what's going on in this room and what the crowd looks like, there are several dancing women here, and there is and about 75% of this area is just like crowded and occupied around the outside of the outer edge of this room near the walls. The people all here talking are all leaned in to each other, talking to one another, looking over their shoulders, and at the people who might be watching them, not paying the dancers very much attention. You also are going to notice that most of them are armed and barely anybody is drinking. Seems more of like a place for business rather than, and I say business with quotations, rather than, where people actually stay.
So, I am going to dance a little. Is there music playing?
Yeah, there would be music. I just don't think I had it on repeat.
I would dance seductively and see if I can make some money with my body.
Okay, well there are dancers that are hired here, so you can get on stage with them and try and show them up, if you want, and that would be a performance check. That's normally considered rude, as Tumbutu would tell you. Showing up the hired entertainment is not polite, but.
Well, I will not do it on stage. It'll just more so be along with the music, making eye contact and shaking my moneymaker.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a performance check. Does anyone else want to do anything?
No, I don't have money-making skills. Except for
gather around and let me tell you the tale of Brewbark, the dancing
I will tell you
man.
the things I've seen.
I'm gonna watch for people getting ready to shank one of these two in the back for showing up dancers or trying to make money in the establishment while they're doing business.
Actually, going to go to bed.
Okay. All right. So
he's also going to bed. He's
same.
Is there a way that I could find out? I know this might not be here, but could I find out how much I could get for this ruby pendant?
Yeah. It's not terribly like difficult to sell these off. The entry fee into the Merchants of the Ruby is 50 gold, and then you also get one of these. The amulets themselves are normally worth somewhere between 10 and 25 gold.
Wait, so if I have this, does that mean they'll let me in the
Ruby Alliance?
Well, not the Ruby Alliance, but the Coliseum? Or is that a different pendant?
I, as a dungeon master, no. Well, actually, I was going to say, I don't think Zeeth would have that information, but I think I understand what you're asking. And as far as like being allowed, what you guys have been winning from the arenas have been commendation, like pendants that go on like your clothes, of like like pins, like a very fancy button of sorts. This would not equate to, this amulet would not equate to that, if that's what you're asking.
Well,
so hang on. So let me get this straight. He stole the Ruby Alliance pendant, right?
Yes.
Okay. What does my character know about that? Since he had his mentor was part of the Ruby Alliance. Is that a big terrible thing, or is it more of like a, oh, well, you're an idiot, you got it stolen?
It's a quick denoter of just like, hey, we're friends and we trade on a common standard.
Okay.
And now, if you want to access any services of the Ruby Alliance, it wouldn't hold up to that, as that's the marker, but it doesn't input you into any of their books or their logs or the tomes and information they send out to all of their vaults across the world.
Okay, so he knows there's a record of who actually should hold one
yes,
of those.
Records, there we go. Yes.
Okay. Just so you know, there's a book they will check that in to see if you are in that book. If you are not in that book, then they will not help you.
So it's worth more to sell.
It's worth more to bluff occasionally, but be careful with it and don't bluff too hard.
10 gold.
You might get a little cash for it.
Well, that's what we need to get out from beneath Mr. Neckringer over there.
Mr. Neckringer.
There are other ways, I imagine.
Mr. Neckringer, Mr. Business.
A sword through his eye socket. Be one.
XP has no problem with Mr. Neckringer, just an FYI.
I suppose I'll hold. Go ahead.
I don't know about the process, but maybe you can actually join the Ruby Alliance legitimately.
He's kind of twirling it on his finger as he thinks about it.
If nothing else, you can say, hey, by the way, this guy had one of these. I don't know if he's actually on the books as one of your people, but he's also a terrible assassin who just admitted to some people he bumped into on the street that he was going to assassinate someone, and that he was an assassin. And he had 3 successful jobs under his belt. And maybe this is someone you don't want to actually be doing business with. Us, on the other hand, are, proper, upstanding, and excellent gladiators.
That beat the shit out of him.
We didn't beat the shit out of him. He was in very good condition when we left him. He wasn't missing any teeth.
Okay, we strongly chastised him.
So out of character,
I'll go for chastised.
Out of character, I just want to state that a Ruby Alliance member is not necessarily a member of the Ruby Shadow. The Ruby Shadow is a subset of the Ruby Alliance. Ruby Alliance is not an evil organization. The Shadow is.
My character doesn't know that. He doesn't
really I
understand the Ruby Shadow part.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you understood it, because it sounded like you didn't understand that, and I just wanted to clarify.
Nope, I get you.
Okay.
He'll tuck the thing away. It's like, we'll keep I'll keep it on hand for a little while.
Fair enough.
And he'll kind of pat C's on the shoulder. And, thanks. I'm going to sleep.
Okay. I'll watch this activity down here until everyone else decides to turn in, then I'll be up to watch up there.
All right.
Go
ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. What else? Oh, okay. So XV follows Grimstone. Grimstone is going to talk to the tavern keep, and he is going to give the party 3 rooms on the 2nd floor. After talking back and forth with Grimstone. And I wonder if he's going to convey any important information. He is not. Grimstone's just going to come back to the party with XV. Let them know he got a room for himself. And he got the party 2 rooms they can divide in half. However they want. And he'll hand over the keys. Everybody who wanted to go to sleep is able to go upstairs. There's a second common area here. But just, walking down the hall, you're able to find your rooms. And the party's rooms are on opposite sides of the hall from each other. Grimstone's is several doorways down.
Meanwhile, the beautiful half-orc is still shaking.
Yeah, is shaking his bacon, and shaking his moneymaker.
Ooh.
Let's
kind of a Magic Mike style. I'm a bit envisioning.
Neat.
All right. So Brewbar. As you are dancing, there is a woman. She's going to look at you. She's got a hood over her head. She looks up and says, "Hey, you're good looking. How about you come over here and you spend the night at our table?" As she does, another woman's going to say, "Oh, I'll give you 3 gold to come over to mine," gesturing to the table next to her. The other woman who initially called you over is going to say, "Damn, Mela, you're always trying to poach something." And she'll say, 5 gold. Sit with me and we'll have dinner for the night. Mela will
Ladies,
put
you
10
could
gold
always
on the
combine your
table.
money and I can sit with both.
Sound business transaction.
Yeah, just pull the tables together. These will probably help if you want it.
The first one is going to say, "No, I don't want to spend the evening with the likes of..." She looks up and down and says, "Her." She's going to grab her coin pouch and say, "I think I'm quite done here for the night." She looks to the man she was sitting with, nods, and begins walking out. The other woman, still with the 10 gold on the table, gestures for Brewbark.
I happily sit down and introduce myself. And
she's going to say,
give
"I don't
her
care."
I'm going to give her a soul-crushing wink.
Mm-hmm. As you start to introduce yourself, she's going to say, "I don't care. I just wanted to win."
You can go back now.
I nod and I say, "Well, you definitely won something tonight."
She's going to sip her drink, looking towards the dancers in the room, and she's going to say, "Not quite yet. Still have a mark."
Still have to what?
I still have a mark.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Looking over at Brewbark, she's going to say, "As soon as I get it, though, maybe I can hire you to sit and be pretty a little bit more to taunt Freyton." "I suppose. Why are you in town?" "You know what? Never mind. I really don't care." She goes back to drinking silently. How long does Brewbark sit here?
I'll give it like 20 minutes. See if he wants anything from me. Otherwise, I would want a wood dip.
You're going to notice she's weighing into other people's or listening into other people's conversations, watching a few other people gamble, and every occasionally she just chips in and tries to upstage someone, just as she did of just oh, I bet this, and it's I've got 20, I bet this lady's about to trip on this next song. It's I'll double your bet and say she isn't, or just relentlessly petty about the things going on around her. Otherwise, though, yeah, after about 20 minutes of being ignored, Brewbart can just put the money in his hands and then scoot it off the table, and it's all right, I'll just go talk to someone else.
I do that, and I will call. I'm gonna run while I can and say that I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay. She'll put up just a hand of goodbye, but not even looking or really acknowledging you. Otherwise,
I'm better than you, elf.
Hey, oh, it's worth noting she's not an elf. She looks human. Probably one of the few people in this tavern that do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're able to go upstairs and go to sleep. Everybody else for that night is going to be able to rest well for the night. I think this
Whoa. I'm drinking heavy.
Oh, you're... well, you already know what I'm going to ask for. Give me a Constitution save. And you're also going to have to expend some money on it. How much money do you spend on drinking?
Depends how good I roll.
Yeah.
But I guess I wouldn't be able to handle that much.
You asked for the good stuff here, and they are going to give you a mug with a cinnamon stick sticking out of it, and you're just smells like perfume. What is this pant? Oh God! And you're out on the table.
What the hell did you put in front of me?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sees picks him up, carries him up to the room, dumps him in the bed.
So I guess I didn't even pay then.
Those order like fireballs, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
on your tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he figures Captain Neckringer will take care of it. Or whatever his name is.
Mr. Neckringer and Mr. Business.
Mr. Neckringer.
Please
There you
keep
go.
up with your associates. All right. You guys are able to you guys are able to sleep through the night. In the morning, this place is going to clear out. Well, it's going to clear out a good little bit. And it's more so that it's populated all night long, all the way into, almost sunrise. And then, as you guys would be, waking up, it's when people start clearing out of this place. That said, I think we normally go for another 20 minutes. So let's get what everybody's up to today, and then we'll find a place to end for the night. If anybody has time concerns they're dealing with, please message me, because my brain just I can't I'm not processing the normal session time with it shifting. So in my head I'm just always oh, it's 8:30, it's time to end. But yeah. Otherwise, what's everybody want to do for this morning?
I'm good either way. I could I have dinner waiting for me, but it could wait.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good to go another 20 minutes. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we have to go pop me a message.
Melise would go scope out the arena. Yeah.
All right, Brimstone's coming with you.
XP's going with you.
I was gonna like map out the city a little bit.
Okay.
Just wander around.
That is
And
always a good thing to do
I
in a
asked for someone to
dangerous
join me just in case.
place. That's a much better thing to do in a dangerous place.
Seas goes.
All right. And I don't think I heard what Zeeth or Regis were doing.
Let's see. It's the morning, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go down to the Coliseum, see when the next shows and everything are.
Okay. And finally, Zeeth. If you're speaking, Wesley, I can't hear you.
It helps if I unmute myself.
Okay.
Z says he.
Go ahead.
Z's going to the arena. He says I'll play lookout.
Okay. All right. So most of the party goes to the arena. Brewbark, not Brewbark. Tombutu and C's go to explore the city a little bit. Heading down to the arena, you guys are going to see this arena is set up differently than the Riofir one. The Riofir one was a circle built more like a coliseum. This one is built more like some sort of amphitheater of everything's kind of like a half circle around what appears to almost be a depressed stage. Where the fights would be, and attached to this amphitheater, there's going to be a tower. Grimstone is going to walk into the tower, see various people moving in and out here, and eventually find the organizer who runs this place. And they are rolled up. And he's stepping into this room. He's going to say, Elan, I'd like to sponsor a guild to compete. The elf in this room, he's going to look up. There are various different devices in this room that are strange contraptions that are ticking and moving and gyrating. And he's going to look over at one and then back to Grimstone and say, I'm afraid you're out of time, my old friend. I have filled every spot that I needed for the exhibition matches and the tournament brackets that will be happening tomorrow. Grimstone is going to growl and say, when's this next set of matches? Is going to say, I believe on 9th day we'll have something set up for the end of the week. Grimstone's going to look at the party and say, really didn't want to spend a week in this God's forsaken town. Miria scorn. Aline is going to speak up and say, I do believe one of the sponsors of one of the guilds did get himself thrown into the dungeons up on the hillside. the Havius Manor's dungeons. That would be grounds for disqualification, but I don't think he'll be processed. I don't think he'll be processed anytime soon. So if he's not found guilty of any crime by our bylaws, he'd still have his spot. Grimstone is going to nod and say, I don't know who this guy is, but I'll go talk to him. I promised you guys I'd sponsor you, so he's going to saunter out of the room. The elf left there is going to say, I'm Elandir of the Feyfelin Circle. And you are? He didn't give any name.
Paid in Blood is the name of the group.
So, would you like me to reserve a slot for you in the next set of upcoming matches?
If there is a slot open, then yes, I would like a slot.
Actually, one moment. He's gonna kind of tug everybody to the side a little bit, and he says, "So I didn't have a chance to mention this earlier, but I may have found us a lead on another possibly less sadistic sponsor that's here in the area."
We should perhaps move quickly on that before we are asking Mr. Strangle Happy to give us a entry fee.
Yes, I know a name, an area. So maybe we should go there now?
Can we hold that slot for just a moment? We'll be back shortly.
Elandir is going to say, of course. As long as you provide your payment at least 4 hours before the match, it's yours.
Oh, good. I think we can probably make that happen.
By the math, let's see, it was the 22nd, the 23rd, and 24th passed on the boat. It's the 25th. The match he's saying is on the 29th. As he said, the 29th.
Okay.
He said he had all of his slots filled for the 26th.
Okay.
From what I heard, you know what? I just forgot the name.
Oof.
Go
ahead. I'm marking off things on my bingo sheet.
Grimstone. Gosh darn it.
Oh, okay.
Grimstone, he's going to try and get us a place today if you can talk to that one guy who's about to be DQ'd, right?
Yeah, he's trying to get you a thing in the 26th. He doesn't want to stay here for a week.
All right. I'm going to follow with Grimstone in case I can help with that.
Okay. So
I'm going to bring it to the group that stayed and discussed about possibly getting this other sponsor. It's always possible that if he can get us in on the 26th, we could also do it on the 29th with a second sponsor and make more money.
I like that idea.
I would rather wait till the 29th to someone that's not going to try to murder me if I lose. 3 days means nothing to me.
You specifically, it's just XV. Just Elizabeth that has her neck on the line.
It's a pretty nice neck, too. It'd be a shame.
It is a pretty nice neck.
Well.
Okay. Let's... so the party is going to try and find Zeeth's contact. I'm not going to be mean. I was going to say, does Zeeth remember his contact? Do you tell the party their name? Oh, Teden? Teden?
Teden.
Okay.
in the songs. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Hey.
So yeah, connecting because like the arenas wouldn't be terribly far from the Inuret. So just moving from the arena into the market square of Soromangenn. I would say you're able to connect with Timbuktu and Seas as they're trying to map out the town. As like the market square, you can see like, oh, that area of town, that area of town, that area of town, that area of town, and it would just make sense to go to the songs next.
I also want to go to a general shop. If I
Okay.
find one.
We will handle shopping next session. But yeah, you guys just weaving through the songs and asking about Tayden. How do you try and find her?
So I guess I would have to ask, like, what is the songs kind of like a residential area? Or
yeah, there'd be one row of shops here, but for the there'd be one row of shops here and a temple. But other than those two, yeah, the rest of it would be residential.
I'm actually gonna head up to the temple. And I'm going to ask the attendant there if they can help me find someone by the name of Tayden. They would happen to know anyone by that name.
Okay. Yeah, going to the temple and asking for somebody by the name of Tayden. The man currently running this establishment, and it's a temple devoted to the Given Wills. The man currently running this establishment is going to say, yes, Lady Tayden did come through here. One of the few souls we've had to exile from the temple.
Oof. Oh.
He's going to say, she lives by the well in the center of town, but I'd go quickly. She does not have long for this world.
I'm sorry?
He is going to hesitate and say, it's... I suppose the whole town's abuzz with the knowledge. She murdered a woman in cold blood a few nights ago. The Ruby Shadow's been contracting anyone they can to have the same deed done back on her. She's hauled herself up inside of her house, but more people are coming into the port each day looking to take the bounty.
So she
been
has
about 3 days, and I think I've seen at least a half dozen assassins plotting.
So she's murdered somebody, and they sent assassins out of her after her.
Well, lawless town, all that maybe.
He's going to say, I don't know much. She was a cleric here for a few days. As I know it, the woman was a refugee. As to what transpired between them, I'm not sure. She fled, and I've had to do what I had to do to maintain my establishments, or rather my temples, my temple's neutrality here. The Ruby
Wait.
Shadow's been pushing in, or the Ruby Alliance has been pushing into Soromangenn more and more and more. And if they want her dead, I can't have harm come unto those who would be followers of my temple.
Wait. This is a temple to what god?
Amira, the avatar or the living avatar of the Great Mother, Lilia.
And is she a cleric of this god as well?
Well, he's gonna say, as I knew it, she was, but I don't understand why she wouldn't protect life.
Well, is she still in good with this god?
He's going to say, I've prayed to, oh, I think I said the given wills. This is the spoken wills.
You said the given wills,
spoken
yes.
wills. Yeah, this is the spoken wills. And he's going to say, I've prayed to Amira for guidance to her. I can only hope she still has Amira's favor, as it would be the only thing that's allowed her to last these past 3 days.
If she is still in good with a god of that nature, then I think there is more than one way to answer prayers for her survival. He kind of squares his shoulders up real big.
And
sometimes
maybe
for the good of many, somebody needs killing. I'm very familiar with this.
He's going to chuckle and say, you sound like one of the Sarai of the Given Wills. Do note, one of our tenets is that our minds can change on matters of the Spoken Wills. We tend to believe a lot of things over our lives.
Change is sometimes necessary, but under the circumstances, I feel the need to evaluate some of the morals of the situation and throw my lot in.
He's going to nod and say, do tell her if all of this gets dealt with the Ruby Alliance and her name's cleared, she's welcome back. But until then, I can't have the assassins and brigands hanging around the songs.
All right. I'm gonna start heading in that direction then.
All right. If you just walk through like the residential area to the well, you are going to easily be able to denote where this lady's house is. There is a large 2-floor townhouse. The door on the bottom floor has been barricaded. The windows on the bottom floor has been barricaded. There's a porch on the second floor. And in almost like a radius around this house, there are scorch marks on the ground, with kind of like the edge of the radius touching the well. If you guys are just like in here, if you guys are just in this, if you guys are just like in this, like kind of well square for a few moments, every now and then you see a head peeking through the windows of the second floor.
Miss Teeden?
Walk up to the edge of the scorch marks. Ho there in the house. I come in peace.
We do.
May we talk?
We do.
She's
I'm also there.
going to open the window and say, the last 3 people who came in peace got a guiding bolt to the chest.
I'm quite certain I won't need one of those. And I don't think you'll feel the urge to use it either.
She's going to look around and step out to the porch. She's wearing a breastplate and a shield, and she's going to look down and say, "What is it? Speak your piece."
I hear you're in trouble with the Ruby Shadow or Alliance. And they are sending assassins. I think I may have accidentally stopped one of them last night. But I'm curious about whether or not you are still in good with your god and the nature of the person that you allegedly killed.
She's going to nod and say, "Oh, I killed her. She's a demon worshiper from Red Axe."
Oh, good. Then our causes are aligned on such things.
She's gonna hesitate for a moment and then say, "We can talk, but I will warn you, I'm well rested for the day."
Oh, good.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, we can just sit on the porch.
Mm-hmm. She's going to walk back inside her house.
Okay.
And in a few moments, you guys see the door from behind the wood open. As it does, you're gonna hear like you're gonna hear and see a kicking sound. She starts kicking off the boards. After a few moments, she kicks enough of them off that you guys can step over them into the door. She's going to gesture and say, "Come inside, quickly."
Go in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As soon as you guys get in here, I needed to roll one more die.
Stabbing die.
As she opens as everybody is coming through the door, Brewbark, you're going to see that woman you sat with last night, just walk through the other side of the market square. Like, you notice her like, "Oh, isn't that pretty lady who paid me?" And then Teden closes the door.
I will ask Teden if he knows that woman quickly.
Let's see. She's gonna roll a history check, and she's going to say, "Showed up about 2 days ago. Comes through every day, just before mid-morning. So far, I assume she's an assassin, probably here for the bounty, just like everyone else. I don't know what connection that woman that I killed had to the Ruby Shadow, but I know what she was trying to do inside of our temple, and I wasn't going to allow it."
Is there anything you can present to the
She
Ruby
might have
Shadow
a
as proof?
larger role in this. She's not hurting for cash and not interested in fame. She's able to throw around money like nothing else.
Brewbark, say that again for me, that the person isn't hurting for cash. And that's all I heard.
She's not hurting for cash. She's able to throw money around like it's nothing.
Is it dim inside this house, or is it well lit?
Oh yeah, it's dim, definitely. The first floor would have 0 lights on. Second floor would get sunlight. Yeah, she's got like dark vision, so it's like if anybody's like struggling for sight, I guess she would like notice and like and she'll cast light as a cantrip.
Well, when it's dim in the room, Z's going to take his blindfold and kind of pull it up over his face, kind of blink a few times, and he's got like the whole cat eye, or like shining cat eye thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, finally!
She does not cast light. And I feel like this is a decent stopping point for the night. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
I am.
Okay. And yeah, we'll pick up here next session.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pull a group B and stab her.
Hey, thanks for letting us into your home. Is that dinner you're cooking? All right.
By the way, that bounty, we're here for that too. Now we don't have to worry about Mr. Strangler anymore.
Yeah, you guys, you guys got into Soromangenn, and you're talking to your potential other sponsor. She can't just freely sponsor you though, because there are several hits out on her head. And you guys stopped an assassin. I will tell you guys my plans as soon as I get off of stream, but let's see. As far as hold on, let me do this real quick. As far as like experience goes for tonight, I'm gonna say the things you did on the boat were their own rewards. You guys got new skills, you proceeded with your crafting things, and you got new forms to transform into. However, inside of Soromangenn, I will say you guys definitely hit two major plot points. And I think I'm going to give you guys a milestone. I don't know what you guys are at on milestones, but I told you we'd do both just to make sure you guys are leveling up at appropriate rates. So I'm going to give you guys a milestone of whatever your milestones are, but I'm also going to say 500 experience for tonight, and the 500 is for finding out what you have to do to get into the arena. Every session, or every session's going to be travel to the arena, gain entry to the arena, fight in the arena, travel to the arena, gain entry, fight in the arena. So you guys have definitely hit the next point of like, oh, all right. So let's end there. Oh, scheduling your next session and inspiration. Moments that were worthy of inspiration tonight. I gotta think. I'm not gonna give inspiration. I think I'm gonna give everybody 100 additional experience for tonight for the good roleplay with the assassin. Although you didn't get his name, his next hit will be on Mr. Business.
Mr.
You broke up there, Mr. Who?
Mr. Business.
Oh.
Good thing I walk around with a cloak with a bandage over my eyes.
Well, I mean, you're not the hardest person to find. I'm just like, hey, have you seen the blind guy with midnight black skin? It's just like, oh yeah.
Have you seen the drow with?
I'm not a drow.
All right. So as far as tonight, 600 experience in total, and your guys' next session is going to be on the 22nd. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yep.
Should be fine.
All right. I'm ending.